Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got to discuss this involving Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. We all know that these two is a rivalry, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we know that Crawford just dismantled Errol Spence. It wasn't even a contest. It was really like child's play, to be honest with you. If you've been living under a rock, Terence Bud Crawford, listen, the undefeated champ. 40-0, no losses, no draws with 31 wins by the way of knockout. Pardon me. We all know that Terence Bud Crawford, age 36, he listen, he couldn't hold his tongue. Errol Spence. Listen, he made headlines when he stepped in the square circle with Sebastian Fundora, and everybody now has an opinion. Terence Bud Crawford didn't hold no punches. To be honest with you, in my opinion, he was trolling him. But I mean, if you Terence Crawford, do you blame? If you're a Crawford fan, do you blame yourself? These are some tweets that came out immediately. He says, "You lost, sir. Gotta work your way back up." This is what he told him. He says, "At Errol Spence, sorry, buddy, you gotta wait in line, sir." And then Errol Spence, he responded by saying, "I don't know, champ. I don't do lines." So clearly he responded to that, and he says, "We going back to Dallas." So basically, Errol Spence. Listen, the truth is she's still a threat, especially to anybody outside of Terence Crawford. I think that he beats Fundora. A lot of people probably would think I'd say he takes out Finn. I'm not gonna get upset myself to think that Spence is just nobody. Just because he took a loss, and that's why we don't see the fight we want to see. Look how people are, talking about Errol Spence. You understand? It wasn't, what was it, a year or so ago? They was talking highly of him. Now he's yesterday's news. It's almost like he need to retire. I don't like that notion. And that's the problem with boxing. Errol Spence is 28-1, no draws, 22 wins by the way of knockout. He's still a problem. So listen, this matchup with Fundora is gonna be crazy. Fundora, the size on Fundora in terms of the height, his punching power. To me, this man got power. For the size, he definitely would present some different different stuff to Spence. But Spence has definitely fought guys, that'll be tough for him. But where I'm looking at is Dallas, AT&T Stadium. We all know that Errol Spence is a threat, at AT&T Stadium. If it was to go there, I think it would be something spectacular if it was to happen. These two did go face to face. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't hear nothing about Tszyu. In terms of a rematch clause, I know that he should have. If I was Tszyu in his camp, I'm activating that immediately, just off the fact of how the fight went down. Because if you didn't get busted open, I think that now we having a whole different ball game. So Terence Crawford, he obviously seen it, just like everybody else when Errol Spence got in the ring. Confronted newly crowned WBO WBC junior middleweight world champion Sebastian Fundora for their potential fight. And we all know he didn't like that move. Like I said, he completely violated him last summer to become the undisputed world welterweight champion. A lot of critics, want to see a situation with possibly with Tszyu or Crawford. People wanted to see that. I don't know how real that was. I'm even hearing Tszyu call for Spence now. It's to the point now where he looking to fight anybody. So it's definitely to me kind of wild. But listen, in my opinion, this is what boxing needs. We need the big fights. Fundora, after a performance like that over Tszyu, no matter how people want to slice it, because he won that fight off of the cut. And I mean, I know that, I don't think we need to keep going at it. It blinded his vision just at where the cut happened. You understand? If Tszyu didn't get cut right there, You know, where basically everything is pouring into his vision. You know, if none of that is the case, I think that listen, we have another ball game. Tszyu is a guy who I think that people got to still take as a threat. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Tszyu is just yesterday's trash, you know, just because he took a loss. And it is tough, you know, because I think that everybody knows exactly what happened. People are saying, damn, and look at the notice that he took. Like I said, this dude was huge. Like I said, as I'm looking at it, when you looked at in the ring, like I said, it looked like it was child's play, you know, in terms of the height that Tszyu was giving out. You know, you got to get better notice, man. I understand that we this, we that. I know we're looking for the payday, but you know, you got 11 days notice. You know, you gotta protect yourself a little bit more in a situation like this. You know, so I didn't like that. You know, Fundora's a guy, clearly he's gonna be a problem. And I think Tszyu, he may not want to go up against a guy like that. He presented him with a lot of problems. Not only that cut, but like I said, Fundora was hitting him, you know, and that height, I think he had a hard time getting to Fundora, you know, but Fundora could be beaten. Like I said, I got Spence dismantling him. Like I said, Tszyu and Spence, that'll be a good fight. Tszyu and Crawford. We don't know, you know, at the end of the day, but I do know that boxing is in an incredible place. But I think that we need to get out of the thoughts of clowning guys just because they took a loss. I think that's very detrimental to the sport of boxing. Even guys like Rolly, you know, which we're going to get into, you know, I just think that we got to, for people that go into the line of fire knowing that is a big chance that they're going to lose. Actually, the deck is stacked against them, you know, and there's a big likelihood that they could get knocked out. And they still going in there and taking the fight. I think guys like that deserve a lot of props and a lot of credit. You know, I think we need to stop not giving these guys the props that they need. Make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe for more boxing news updates and more. So much going on. But what a way to kick off, you know, the PBC, you know, moving on to Amazon. We all know Showtime Boxing. That's all but over with. It's just interesting to see where the sport of boxing is right now. You know, we got big fights coming. We got Tank coming up. You know, you see what's going on with Ryan, Devin. Like I said, boxing is just an incredible place. You know, all the promotions to me are firing on all cylinders. You could get a good card from all of them. You know, Top Rank could put on an excellent card. Golden Boy, you know what they doing, you know, and then as you can see, the PBC is still firing away. Listen, if you don't want to miss a second of boxing coverage, make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. This is my opinion on what's going on. It's Flight Sports TV.